The heroes of Grenfell Tower and recent terror attacks in Manchester and London have missed out on New Year honours as officials say they need more time to decide who deserves recognition. Many commentators expected awards for those who responded to the devastating fire, which killed 71 people, as well as the atrocities at Manchester Arena and London Bridge. The Cabinet Office said they are expected to be recognised in future honour lists, but the process would take time. However, campaigners for the victims of Grenfell Tower reacted angrily to the news, which came amid a cronyism row after 2/5 of the New Year honours were handed to MPs. Among the politicians given knighthoods are Tory Graham Brady, the chairman of the influential 1922 committee, and former Lib Dem leader Nick Clegg. Commons Deputy Speaker Lindsay Hoyle and Preston MP Mark Hendrick were given knighthoods for Labour, meanwhile, as Lib Dem MP Joe Swinson was handed an OBE.Joe Delaney, who lived on Lancaster West estate and is a member of the local council's Grenfell Recovery Scrutiny Committee, said it showed where the government's priorities lie. What about people who helped at Grenfell, or people who stepped in to help at the London Bridge attack or Manchester Arena? He asked in The Independent. Labour MP Karen Buck said, "We have a duty as a society to bow our heads in recognition of what incredible things people did that night and in the aftermath." Numerous people were praised for their response to the disasters. These included Police Constable Wayne Marques, who fought off the 3 London Bridge terrorists with a baton despite losing sight in one night. Meanwhile, 48-year-old Paula Robinson was dubbed the Angel of Manchester for guiding 50 children to safety after the attack on Manchester Arena. The dozens of firemen who responded to the Grenfell Tower fire also received widespread praise, with Dany Cotton, the first woman commissioner of the London Fire Brigade, saying they showed exceptional heroism. A Cabinet Office spokesman said, "Detailed consideration is given to all honours nominations received and this takes time." We would expect to see a number of nominations reflecting recent tragedies and events in future lists and encourage those in affected communities to put forward nominations. The New Year honours list saw gongs handed out to a smattering of well-known figures in the worlds of show business and politics. The Beatles' Ringo Starr and Bee Gees co-founder Barry Gibb were awarded knighthoods. The musicians are joined on the list by Strictly Come Dancing judge Darcey Bussell, 48, who said she was truly humbled to become a dame for services to dance, and Warhorse author Michael Morpurgo, who is knighted for services to literature and charity. Two of the biggest names in line for honours were leaked.Starr, whose real name is Richard Starkey, was revealed to be in line for a knighthood days ahead of the announcement. His award for services to music comes 52 years after he received an MB as part of the Fab Four, and about 20 years after fellow bandmate Sir Paul McCartney was honoured. Details of the knighthood of former Deputy Prime Minister and prominent Remain campaigner Sir Nick, 50, were also the subject of early newspaper reports. His award has provoked criticism among some Brexiteers. Conservative MPs Graham Brady, 50, chairman of the party's 1922 committee, Geoffrey Clifton Brown, 64, and Christopher Cho, 70, received knighthoods for political and public service, while Cheryl Gillan, 65, vice chairman of the committee, is made a dame. On the Labour side, Preston MP Mark Hendrick, 59, and Commons Deputy Speaker Lindsay Hoyle, 60, are knighted. Former UKIP leader Nigel Farage said Tory MPs were being rewarded for services to the establishment, while SNP Cabinet Office spokesman Tommy Shepherd warned that honours should not be doled out as political favours. Theresa May is criticised for handing out political favours as she rewards Brexit allies in the New Year honours by Jack Doyle. For the Daily Mail, Theresa May hands gongs to a powerful parliamentary ally and several pro-Brexit MPs in the New Year honours today. The chairman of the 1922 Committee of Backbench Tories, Graham Brady, is awarded a knighthood. A veteran MP and close ally of the PM, he gave her his staunch support after the Tories lost their majority in June's snap election. Three other senior backbench Tories, who all backed Leave in the EU referendum, are also honoured. The awards prompted claims last night that Mrs. May was handing out political favours. But the list was a far cry from previous ones. David Cameron was heavily criticised for rewarding an array of donors, advisers, and members of his democracy. By contrast, there are no major Tory donors on today's list, and none of Mrs. May's former political advisers and spin doctors who lost their jobs after the election were given gongs. There were also knighthoods for two Labour MPs. Officials said the list reflected Mrs. May's determination to prioritise voluntary contribution and public service. The most notable political name was Sir Graham's. He is the voice of the Tory backbenches at Westminster. A loyalist, he urged her not to quit after the election and provided critical political support when her enemies were plotting against her this summer. He has repeatedly backed her to stay on as leader and has said, "I want Theresa May to carry on leading the Conservative Party." "I have no plans to change that position." Last night Sir Graham said, "I am delighted." "It's a huge honour. My family are thrilled." Two other members of the 1922 committee executive are also honoured, with Vice Chairman Cheryl Gillan being made a dame, while Treasurer Geoffrey Clifton Brown is knighted. All three are long-standing MPs with decades behind them in the Commons. Backed Leave in the EU referendum, as did a fourth Tory MP to be honoured, veteran ex-minister Christopher Cho, who is knighted. But the awards for Leavers were offset by knighthoods for Nick Clegg and, for Labour, Commons Deputy Speaker Lindsay Hoyle and Preston MP Mark Hendrick. There is also an ode for Lib Dem MP Joe Swinson. Former UKIP leader Nigel Farage, who missed out on an honour despite calls for him to be knighted for his role in campaigning for Brexit, said the awards were for services to the establishment. But he also praised the gons given to prominent leavers. He said, "It's services to the establishment in a sense." "I suppose it's a relief to see any leavers on the list. The reason it's a surprise to see leavers on the list is previously there haven't been any. But I don't think it's a reward for Brexit, but a reward for work to the party. The government's priority is keeping the party together." Asked if he would want to be included in a future honours list, MEP Mr Farage replied, "It's never been an aspiration for me, but an aspiration for many who support me." "What will be. Sir Geoffrey, MP for the Cotswolds, said, "It's great to be recognised for having worked for a long number of years on behalf of my community." "One doesn't go into becoming a member of parliament with the expectation of anything. You are there to do a job, help people, make people's lives a little easier and better." He added, "My daughter is about to have a baby, so we've got a double family celebration." Sir Geoffrey said he believed it was completely coincidental when asked if Brexit had influenced any of the honours. In October last year, Mrs May took a veiled swipe at her predecessor Mr Cameron's resignation honours list, which was packed with cronies. She argued the awards should go only to those who are really contributing to society, and that the emphasis should be on those who have run charities or put time and effort into their local communities. Mr Cameron knighted his former spin Dr Craig Oliver and handed out peerages, 13 peerages including to number 10 aides. His wife's stylist received an OBE. David Leakey, who finishes a 7-year term as Black Rod in Parliament this weekend, is made a Commander of the Royal Victorian Order, RVO, by the Queen. Cabinet Office mandarins are to investigate after several names on this year's list, including former Beatle Ringo Starr, were leaked to the media ahead of today's official announcement. Sir Jonathan Stevens, head of the main honours committee, said it was disappointing the names had been made public. He added, "We have tightened up procedures, but we will look again at the system." Award for Coalition Minister who made her political comeback. There is also an ode for Liberal Democrat East Dunbartonshire MP Jo Swinson. Pictured, Liberal Democrat Deputy Leader Jo Swinson said she was delighted to have been included in the New Year honours. The award of a CBE comes just 6 months after the 37-year-old made her political comeback, retaking the East Dunbartonshire constituency she had first won in 2005, and shortly after she announced her second pregnancy. Ms. Swinson was just 25 and the baby of the house, the name given to the youngest MP when she first elected, taking the seat from Labour in a surprise result. After the Liberal Democrats went into coalition with the Conservatives, she became part of the government, serving as both Employment Relations and Consumer Affairs Minister and Equalities Minister, using the latter role to bring in shared parental leave. But she lost her seat in the 2015 election as voters turned against the Liberal Democrats, with Nicola Sturgeon's SNP winning all but 3 of the Scottish seats at Westminster. When Theresa May called a snap election for June 2017, she saw a chance to return to the House of Commons and stood again in East Dunbartonshire, winning the seat back for her party. She was seen as a leadership contender when Tim Farron resigned as leader of the Lib Dems, but announced instead that she would put herself forward for the position of deputy leader, a role which she won unopposed. After learning of her CBE, Ms. Swinson said, "I'm delighted that my work has been recognized in this way. It wouldn't be possible without the support of my constituents, whom I'd like to thank for giving me the opportunity to serve as their MP once more." It is an honor to be listed among so many remarkable people from all walks of life, making amazing contributions right across our country.